Right, time to stick my neck on the line and see if I can get a few miles on this. I checked the gearbox oil and the primary oil, and although you've really got to top them up in order to see oil run out, they didn't need topping up at all. Obviously they've got there's a level plug that you have to undo and oil has to run out, so as soon as I started putting oil in, it started running out the overflows. Let's put the fuel on, that will help. Right. Oof. This one got the 9-to-1 piston, but not the R camshaft. It's also got standard gears and a 375 monoblock, which is slightly smaller than I've got on the Scrambles Cub. I don't want to give this one too rude an awakening. Tiger Cub is probably the most willing of the lot on hills. It's higher geared than my little 1958 Road Cub, but it's also got the 9:1 piston, the high compression ratio, which gives it a bit more punch. I think this is the only one that's made it all the way up this bit in third, actually. I think what I'll do, I'll get the 4 Tiger Cubs together on the yard and I'll discuss and go through some of the sort of differences and advantages and disadvantages from one to the other, because they're all quite different to each other actually. If I happen to be able to pull this thing off and ride the 4 of them, one after the other around the Limbrian loop, I think I'll probably go on this one first. This is the one I had, shall we say, the most, if any, doubts about. But the early signs of being awoken from its slumbers seem to be quite good. Probably get into the realms of misfiring if I switch the lights on, but as I've recently found with the little Road Cub, there's LED headlight bulbs you can get now which seem to sort of deal with that by not demanding so much current as the original types. This is either geared the same as the Sports Cub replica, or even perhaps it has 1 tooth less on the rear sprocket. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but at least as high geared as the Scrambles Cub replica, if not just a touch higher again. It's very fast, this one on the road. I used to do quite long stretches of the M4 on this, between Swansea and Cardiff, believe it or not. And when I wasn't such a fatty, in favourable conditions, it would knock on the door of 80 miles an hour, this one. Yeah, pop, pop, pop on the overrun. Some people won't like that. I don't mind at all. So this bike, with this engine, this frame, with these engine numbers and frame numbers, is what I bought when I was 15 years old as the Trials Cub, which, well, it evolved, the Trials Cub evolved into an entirely different machine, as we know. But this was the Trials Cub as it was when I bought it. But basically this bike, as the Trials Cub, was getting rather tired, so I built up another engine for it ready, and the frame was also looking a bit scruffy and needed painting, so I grabbed another frame and painted it. And then basically by default I ended up with another timing bit. That's what it'll do if you open the throttle. Used to do a lot of that. In fact, you can see in one of my ride videos on this towards Lampeter that I did quite a few years back, it can dip along a bit, this one, when you ask it to. I think it's a bit unfair to ask it to do that today though, having just woken up after 2 years snoozing in the shed. Personally, I can live with a bit of that on the overrun. I quite like it myself. Not everybody's cup of tea, I know. Very good. Very happy and pretty amazed at what this has managed to achieve today. A fuss-free awakening and a trouble-free ride soon afterwards. As I often say, these are excellent little bikes, vastly underrated. I love them to bits.